Oh, sparrows landing by the old harbor light, where the boats come home every cold Friday night. There's a tale on the tide and a song in the foam, and a school at the Fiddling Fox waiting back home.
Sparrow's Landing, Chapter 2. What About Next Thursday? By Stephen Noseworthy. Morning fog drifted through Sparrow's Landing, wrapping around the old heritage buildings as though the town was trying to hold on to its memories a little longer. Inside the Fiddling Fox, Fairy Duckweather sat hunched over a mug of coffee, glaring at the newspaper with the exhaustion of a man who had spent 30 years filling out funding requests no one intended to approve. Across from him, Silas Lovefeather buttered toast while reading a tourism brochure someone had left behind. Simon Goodson arrived 5 minutes late, as always, carrying the smell of expensive cologne and the confidence of a man trusted to manage half the retirement accounts in Driftwood Commons. "Morning, gentlemen," Simon announced. "You're late," Fairy muttered. "I manage investments," Simon replied. "It changes the meaning of time." Molly snorted from behind the bar. He'd mostly changed his parking habits. Outside the pub window, tourists wandered the harbor road, photographing buildings locals barely noticed anymore. Across the bay, Driftwood Commons sat beneath newer steel roofs and square storefronts. Fairy slapped the newspaper. Another national energy announcement says by 2050, power bills across Atlantic Canada should finally start coming down. Silas looked up slowly. "By 2050, I expect to be dead." "You said that during the BlackBerry era," Simon replied. "But now my knees agree with me." Fairy shook his head. "Why is every solution 30 years away? I've got families choosing between groceries and oil bills right now." Simon loosened his tie. "Governments think in announcements. Ordinary people think in Thursdays." Molly pointed a spoon toward him. "That might be the smartest thing you've said all year." "It's only March." The pub door opened. Cold harbor air drifted inside along with Eleanor Pike. Conversation throughout the Fiddling Fox softened almost immediately. Not silence, just caution. Eleanor removed her gloves and nodded toward the room. "Morning, Molly. Boys." "Eleanor," Silas replied warmly. The three men watched her for a moment. Fairy leaned closer. "Now remind me, was the first husband the one who fell down the lighthouse stairs?" "No," Simon corrected quietly. "That was husband number 2. Silas frowned. "I thought husband number 2 disappeared during scallop season." "That was the cousin," Molly said without turning around. The men fell silent. Molly polished a glass. "You three have been investigating that poor woman for 15 years and still don't even have the victims organized properly." "We're not investigating," Fairy protested. "We're observing," Silas added. Simon nodded seriously. "For public safety." At the back table, Eleanor Pike smiled faintly into her tea, which somehow made all three men nervous. "Thank you for visiting Sparrow's Landing. The lights are still on at the Fiddling Fox. The harbor is still listening, and more stories are waiting. Come back soon for the next installment. You can read more chapters at www.stephennoseworthyauthor.com/Sparrow's Landing.